guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jay, and in this week's video I will be showing you guys all of the books that I read in September. The first book that I read in September is Once Upon a Time, Regina Rising. I DNF'd it, but not for good. I will bring it back. It's a very fall type of book, so I'm probably gonna bring it back this fall. If not this fall, then I'll bring it back in like the January area. The whole reason I DNF'd it was because I was not really liking the plotline and the pace. I mean, the plotline was amazing. It was good. Like, I've seen this show so many times. I've watched it over and over again because it's literally my comfort TV show. But it wasn't what I was looking for at the time, and so I decided to DNF it. And then after that, I started reading Beastly, which I do not have a physical copy of because one of my friends let me borrow it. She was like, hey, I think you would like this, and she let me read it. I loved Beastly. Beastly was my favorite. It was so much fun to read, and it was a great, fun little Beauty and the Beast reimagining. It was so good. I loved the romance aspect. Romance has been one of my favorite genres recently. I don't know why, it just has. Like, I've been trying my best to read like books with a romance subplot, so I'm not getting all romance. But I am loving every bit of romance that I get every time I do read. I loved Beastly. I think I made it like a 4.5. I'll put it on the screen. I have it on Google Sheets. So I'll have to look at that, and I'll give you guys the ratings for all of these books. So the next book is Where the Forest Meets the Stars. I read this in about a week. Maybe it was a little longer than a week. I read this during one of like the busiest times of the school year, or the start of the school year at least. I originally bought this. I bought 2 copies of this book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna read this with my boyfriend. It's gonna be so much fun. You guys saw the whole reading vlog. Like, all my thoughts are there, but like I'll put some in here too because why not? But I started this with my boyfriend. We started out on the same day, I think. He was really far ahead of me, and then I read a lot, and then I ended up finishing this book. It took me like, after I like read a lot, I finished it in 2 days. So loved this book. I think I gave it about a 4 stars, but again, it'll be up on the screen. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I loved the plot. I loved the romance. I loved the banter. The banter was my favorite part. I actually underlined in both this and Where the Forest Meets the Stars, because I felt like underlining and kind of annotating in my little annotating way, because I don't like actually write actual words, but like still I will like underline and bracket like paragraphs and sentences and little things that they say, and like, oh, this book, 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. It was amazing. I love this book so much. So like I said, it is 5 stars. There is not enough words in the world to express how good this book is. At first I was like, I don't like this, because this is like the first like full-on romance that I've read. Like, I've read fantasy romances. I've read so many like romance books, but this is like the first actual romance that I'm reading. I had in my notes app to compare this to 1,000 Heartbeats by Kiera Cass. Y'all, I think y'all know how much I love that book, but I don't think I've actually talked about it. So I'm gonna take a second and I'm gonna talk about it, because 1,000 Heartbeats is one of my top 3 favorite Kiera Cass books. First, we have The Selection, and then we have The One. And then we have 1,000 Heartbeats. Those are my top 3 Kiera Cass books. I love Kiera Cass with all of my heart. She needs to like put out a new book. Like I'm waiting so impatiently for her next book. But 1,000 Heartbeats, I wanted to compare it to this because it gave me the same feeling. I had the most amazing 5-star feeling with 1,000 Heartbeats. I actually think I wrote in my Google Sheets page that it's like an 8 stars. 1,000 Heartbeats. Everything in 1,000 Heartbeats was my favorite. My favorite. I loved the dual point of view. I loved the banter, the romance, the enemies to lovers. I loved it. But with Happy Place, I had that 5-star feeling in the middle of the book. With 8,000 Heartbeats, I had it at the very beginning. I was like, oh yeah. But with Happy Place, I was so uncertain. I was like, is this gonna be a 3 stars or is this gonna be a 5 stars? Like, that is a big jump for me. Sometimes I'm an easy rater and sometimes I'm a hard rater. 1,000 Heartbeats gave me that cozy enemies to lovers fantasy romance. It almost gave like confusion, but then near the end it was like everything was resolved and everything was fine, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't really think of anything else to say about Happy Place because there's too many words and I can't think of any of them right now. I'm gonna talk about this book even though I just finished it today. You're watching this on Wednesday and it is currently Wednesday when I'm filming this, so I'm a little late, but it's fine. I just finished Good Girl Bad Blood, which is a part of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Both of these books, 5 stars. You guys will get a wrap up of the entire series in my October wrap up at the end of the month because I am planning to read As Good as Dead, which is the last book in the trilogy. If you watched my October TBR video, you will know that. But this book, I just finished it today. I love this book. I love this book. The plot is amazing. Okay, that's all I have to say about Good Girl Bad Blood right now because I don't want to spoil anything. So there's that. I think that's all of the books that I read this month. I read 4 books and one of them I don't have the physical copy for. So I guess that's all for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're notified every single time I post a brand new video. And do not forget that I post long videos every Wednesday and I try my best to post shorts every day. It doesn't always happen. This week and last week have been very hectic, so I've barely posted any shorts, but I'm getting back to it, I promise you guys. And do not forget to follow me on both of my Instagrams. Yeah, that's all. Bye, guys!